Hey guys, it's Two Review Games or Adam, and welcome back to another one of my Fortnite videos. And today we'll look at every single thing that has been removed from Fortnite so far. So when you compare the version of Fortnite we have right now to the very original version, obviously there has been an insane amount of content added in along the way. Just weapons alone, there has been so much. Now, since they added in so much, of course, they've had to remove a bunch of stuff along the way. That includes traps, of course, tons of weapons, and some emotes as well. And in today's video, I'm going over all of the things that have been removed so far. So the question for today's video, let me guys know right now in the comment section below, what do you guys think is going to be the next thing they actually remove from this game? Will it be a new weapon, an old weapon? Will it be an emote, a grenade? Let me guys know right now in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't already, drop a like. That'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe if you're new. And besides that, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So starting things off here in the 10 spot, we have the jump pad. Now the jump pad has been removed from the game for a long time now. And of course, it has been replaced by the launch pad. But the big difference between the two is with the launch pad, you of course deploy your glider. With the jump pad, you would not. You would just kind of bounce up and down on this jump pad. And it was mainly used for not taking fall damage when falling from a very high area. So like a sky base or a mountain, you would place it down, jump on this thing, and then of course jump off of that height and go down and not take any fall damage. So the jump pad was great. I can kind of see why it was removed, because besides that one little thing, it wasn't really all that useful. You would just bounce, you know, not that high. So I understand why it's gone, why they replaced it, but still, the jump pad was really awesome for those moments, but unfortunately it is no longer with us. So coming in at the number 9 spot on today's list, we have the wall dynamo trap. Now this trap right here was kind of a weird trap. When Fortnite first came out, or Battle Royale first came out, there were a lot of kind of very specific traps. And of course, the wall dynamo trap was specific for walls. You would place it on a wall, and of course, it would, you know, kill the person who ran by that wall. Now, of course, now we only have the one trap, which is a damage trap. And you can put that trap on walls, the ceiling, the ground. You know, before, you know, there were certain traps for ceilings, certain traps for walls, and of course, certain traps for the ground. And the wall dynamo was one of those traps that was specifically for the wall, and it has been removed from the game for a long time now. So coming in at the 8th spot, we have our first grenade, or I should say our only grenade on this list, and that was the smoke grenade. Now, this is one of the first things that was kind of added into the game. Not one of the first things, but it was kind of that first wave of items that were added in, and the smoke grenades was never really all that good. Of course, when it first came out, you know, smoke was covering the entire map. People were spamming these things, but shortly after that, people just kind of realized that the smoke grenade is not worth one of your inventory slots, and it just never, ever got used. No one ever really used it the way it was supposed to be used. If you got it, you would spam it randomly, but it's not like you would want that smoke grenade at the end game with you, because it was just completely useless. You could fill that slot with something much better. So coming in at the number 7 spot on today's list, we have our last trap. This is the ceiling trap. So like I said when we were talking about the wall dynamo, there were very specific traps in the game originally, and a huge reason why I think they had these traps was they just took a bunch of things from Save the World, because the ceiling trap, or I should say traps in general in Save the World, are very specific and they're actually really useful. So they just took, you know, a ceiling trap, they took the wall trap, and they took the, of course, the spike trap, which was the trap for the floor, and they just threw it into BR, and they realized that it really wasn't necessary. So of course, the ceiling trap was specifically for the ceiling, and again, now we have that one damage trap that goes absolutely everywhere. So now we have one trap. Before we used to have 3, and the ceiling trap is one of those traps that was removed from the game. So coming in at the number 6 spot on today's list, we have one of the default dance songs. So when Fortnite first came out, of course, you had that one emote, and during that one emote, 3 different songs would play, right? You would just cycle through all 3 songs all the time, and of course now when you go into game, you only cycle through 2 songs. So that 3rd song was actually removed, which I'll probably be playing in the background. So we only now have those 2 songs. That same emote is there, the 2 songs from the very start are there, but that 3rd one is no longer in the game. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we have our first weapon, and this is the standard SMG. So there used to be 3 SMGs in the game. We have the standard SMG, we have the TAC SMG, and of course we have the suppressed SMG. And the TAC SMG and the standard SMG were actually in the game together for a really long time, which was weird because both SMGs were pretty much, you know, equal in stats and damage and all that stuff. So it was really weird they had like 2 of the same weapons in the game, and then of course they cut the standard SMG and they buffed the TAC SMG, so now we just have the tactical SMG and the silenced SMG in the game, which again is a really good thing because that standard one was pretty much identical to the TAC. So coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the beautiful purple tactical shotgun. This is one gun that I really do miss. So it's kind of weird because before we had a white and green pump shotgun, then we had a green, blue, and purple tactical shotgun, then they added in the heavy shotgun, of course, and you only have a green and blue pump now, and then you have a white, green, and blue tac, which is unfortunate because that purple tac was a really awesome gun. Of course, it didn't do crazy damage, but it was still better than the blue tac, which is the best tac we have now. And honestly, the purple tac was a lot better than the purple heavy shotgun, so I kind of wish it comes back one day. It probably won't, but, you know, rip that beautiful purple tac shotgun. So coming in at the number 3 spot on today's list, we have the crossbow. And the crossbow was one of those weapons that originally was supposed to be kind of one of those holiday-themed weapons. It was like Cupid's bow, something like that. And then it kind of just turned into the crossbow. But the thing about the crossbow is it was completely useless. Like, I know some people used it and some people got killed with it. It was fun, but for the most part, the crossbow was really, really bad, and it kind of fell into that sniper category. So why in the world would you take a crossbow over something like a bolt action, or heck, even a semi-auto shotgun or the hunting rifle? So the crossbow being cut from the game is definitely a good thing. I think everyone saw it coming because it was something that was kind of annoying too, because you got it from chests so much, and that's just annoying. When you go to a chest, you want a good gun, and you're constantly getting these crossbows that are just completely useless. So this is something that was removed not too long ago, but thankfully they did remove it. So coming in at the number 2 spot on today's list, we have the Zapatron sniper rifle, and this was a interesting one because this gun is currently in Save the World. It is a sniper in Save the World, and a long time ago, this was added into the BR mode for like literally like 1 day, and then right after that, they cut it from the game. Who knows why? I don't know if it was too overpowered or they just didn't like the way it played or the way it was used in Battle Royale, but it was in the game for such a short period of time. The Zapatron is a gun that you actually have to like charge up. It took a while to charge, and you fired it, it would pretty much just insta-kill the person you would hit. but with that being said, it was kind of a tough gun to use. Maybe that's why it was removed from the game, but yes, the Zapatron, an interesting one. Even though it was only in the game for like 1 day, it got removed really quickly. So coming in at the #1 spot on today's list, I'm assuming you guys know what this is. This is the guided missile, and this was removed from the game simply because it was way too overpowered. This thing was too deadly, and I remember using it when it first came out, and it was in the game for what, a week or so, maybe 2 weeks at most, and then it was just cut because it was too much. It was way too much to handle, especially in like duos and squads where you have one guy sitting back spamming rockets and you have one person rushing, because it's so difficult to defend against another player. And then of course these rockets being spammed at you, even in solo, when someone was spamming these things at you, it was so difficult to, you know, build and protect yourself all the time, and eventually one of those rockets would get you. And I'm glad it was cut, even though, you know, it was fun to use, it was really powerful. If you got it, it would equal a lot of kills, but if you didn't have it, you were most likely going to die in like those top 10, top 5 situations from people who were spamming these things constantly. So there we have it, guys. Those are 10 items that have been removed from Fortnite so far, and I'm sure they'll be removing a ton more stuff as time goes on. And of course, guys, let me know right now in the comments below, what do you guys think is going to be the next thing that gets removed from this game? Do you guys think it could be something like a slurp juice? Could it be a weapon or a new weapon that really isn't used all that much? And what weapon do you guys think that will be? Let me guys know. And besides that, of course, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe for more Fortnite videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.